welcome to another episode of Prioritize. They accomplish while you drown in lists. It's difficult to juggle your responsibilities. Husband, father, brother. It goes on, but your energy doesn't.
You pondering what I'm pondering?
Prioritize what's right for you, not what's left behind. This is Prioritize with Toby Baker.
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to it. Welcome to the show, the day, the program. Glad you're here with us. This is Prioritize. Here we talk about prioritizing faith, family, relationships, and more. I'm your crazy white fat host, the Baker Boy himself. I'm glad you're with us, man. I'm glad you decided to click on that and join us here. Today, I want to talk to you about prioritizing gratitude. I want to talk to you about prioritizing being thankful. You know, there's one time a year that we can all point out as being a day where we all come together and we all say something we're thankful for. And that day is generally not on a Monday. No, I'm kidding. Okay, we could be grateful on Mondays. No, but when you think about it, you come together around Thanksgiving, you're around a table, and maybe you've been dreading it. You get to that table, you know, crazy Uncle T, he's going to be saying, all right, everybody, let's raise a glass and say something for which we are truly and sincerely grateful. I tend to be one who believes you don't have to wait until Thanksgiving. You don't have to wait until a special holiday to tell you when you need to be thankful. In fact, I'm the kind of person who says, hey, maybe we could be grateful for stuff every single day. And I know you're probably out there listening, wait a minute, Tob. I am grateful. Well, someone should tell your face that. Now, I mean, maybe you are grateful. Maybe that was a misplanted comment. Remove from memory now. Okay, we're good to go. Now, you know what? I get into dark places. I get in the looking in the mirror and thinking about, you know, how come I can't be more grateful? I should be more grateful. I look at myself in the mirror and said, hey, you woke up today. Can you be grateful for that? Well, maybe you're not because you wish you would have died yesterday. Can you look in the mirror and say, you know, I have my vision. Can I be grateful for my vision? I'm able to hear music that I really enjoy. I can be grateful for that, right? Can I be grateful for the music? I can hop on iTunes. I can hop on YouTube or Spotify. I can easily look up songs. Let me tell you something. Okay, we're going to go down a little rabbit trail here for a second, but I spent an entire summer humming a tune back in the 80s, trying to figure out what the devil the name of the song was. I asked everyone. I walked into Columbia House Music Store. They had those at the mall back in the day. Back in the day, ladies and gentlemen, there used to be a time where you could go into a mall, you didn't have to wear a mask. And there'd be people there eating food and sharing candy and holding hands. Those days are long gone now. No, but you would go into Columbia House Music Store. That's where I went. I walked in, and I said, hey, I'm trying to find this song, and here's the lyrics. I think these are the lyrics, and here's how it goes. I would hum the tune. They're like, that sounds like Duran Duran. This is how they sounded in my head. They were a little older than I was. And so we'd be looking through the albums of Duran Duran. And surely enough, it wasn't Duran Duran. I'd get to camp and I would talk to my counselor and said, hey, can I pull you aside? I got something real serious to ask you. Yeah, Tob. What can I help you out with? Well, I've had this song in my head. And then you get that, oh, okay, I thought this was something real. I'm like, oh, whoa, don't go anywhere. Listen, I'm serious. All right, it's bugging the heck out of me. I got to figure out who sings this song. And I was singing it, and they're like, that sounds like Duran Duran. No. It's not Duran Duran. We've already came across that. We crossed that out as an option. I don't know, man. You're fresh out of luck. It was the song Crowded, Don't Dream It's Over from Crowded House. That was on me, you know, and the thing is, I was eternally grateful that I was able to find the song. Now you can punch it in, you can find it anywhere you want to, right? But can we be grateful that we can hear the music? I can hear Jimmy Okay, if you haven't seen the movie, don't ask. Can we be grateful that we can hear music? You know, there's people out there that are deaf. They can't hear music any longer. They might be able to feel the vibrations of a bass module or of a subwoofer. They can place their hands on a speaker. They can feel the vibrations. They can place their hands on your neck. They can feel the vibrations. They can no longer hear the music. Hopefully, they've had an opportunity to listen to much of that before they lost their hearing. There are people out there who are blind. They cannot see. I have friends who are blind. They can see. They just choose not to see the truth. But that's besides the point. There are people out there who can't even walk, who don't have both of their arms. Do you have any of that? Can you be grateful for that? I think we get into a place where we compare ourselves to the wrong thing. We look at them and say, how come I don't have their money? How come I don't have their house and their car? And look at their business card. Man, it's so nice. Look at their jacket. Oh, it's a beautiful lambskin jacket there. Look at the building they get to work in. And maybe, some of that is not true. Nobody's working. Well, very few people are working in buildings today. Most of them are working out of their home. But we're comparing our what are we comparing? We are comparing our cutting room floor reels to their highlight reels, right? That's a old movie reference. We're comparing our behind the scenes to their on the stage. I don't know how many times I've had somebody tell me, I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to be a YouTube influencer. I want to be an influencer. Well, what has your life been like? Well, I'm only 18, but I want to be... Hey. You are comparing your life now to something you're seeing on the screen. How often do we do this with Instagram, Facebook? I would say Twitter, but I don't know that actually happens on Twitter. Man, you see an Instagram makeup sketch, you see an Instagram vacation, a photo shoot, and you're like, man, look at that. The family, they must be so happy. Look at this guy's car. It's the same color as his private jet. That's the same color as his Jeep. Oh, same color as his Lamborghini. This guy's living the life. You realize you can rent those items for a photo shoot? There are people out there who are just charging people time, and these are, I don't know what kind of person does this. Maybe it's somebody who is starving for attention. Maybe there are people out there and they want the attention. They want the likes. That makes them feel better about themselves. Hey, stop with the insanity. That was a line from the, 90s? Was that workout lady? Stop the insanity. The diet workout routine. And she had this. Anyway, I think we get into this place where, like, well, if I'm not getting likes on my Instagram, if I don't have friends on my Facebook, then nobody must love me and I'm pitiful. No, the thinking there is pitiful. That kind of thinking is from the enemy. What you need to do is slide that to the side because it doesn't matter. Are you grateful for the job that you have? Do you realize there's people out there who don't have jobs? There are people out there who are losing their careers right now. Did you realize this? Can we, for a moment, be thankful? If we just look at our life, if we shove the rest of this aside, do you know how happy, grateful people are? How often do you hear from people, I just want to be happy? But they become so focused on themselves, they create this kind of a black hole, right? There's several different kinds of black holes we can create. And a black hole is just gravitas unto itself. It is self-gravitating, and things just disappear into this. It just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. It is a downward spiraling black hole when I become ever so selfish. And believe me, folks, I love me some me. I love me some Toby. I love me some Baker Boy himself. You know what I'm saying? I will sit down and polish off a pack a dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts, no problem. Now I will have some regrets at the end. Like, I could have shared some of that, but I didn't. Ha ha! No, I will have some regrets, realizing I probably just screwed up whatever diet I was on by eating all that. I probably just screwed up whatever diet I was on. Can I share some of those donuts? Yes. Let's share the wealth. Share the donuts. You know how much better you feel when you get a couple of donuts after you share the rest with other people. They're grateful that you brought them donuts. You are equally blessed by sharing some of that with other people. And I'm not getting into socialism. I'm not talking about we need to spread the wealth around. I'm not talking about any of that. Please don't hear that, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm grateful to get a pack of donuts, to get a box or two of donuts. And sometimes Krispy Kreme, they'll run, and I'm not getting paid by this. Sorry, this is not this. Sometimes Krispy Kreme will run these specials. You buy one, get a dozen free. Man, why wouldn't I just want to share that with other people? When you share with other people, don't you feel better about yourself? Oh, that's just selfish. Okay, fine. It's a little bit selfish. I want to share with other people. Why? Because I want to feel a little better about myself. Oh, the humanity. Where do you get off? Didn't you have parents, Toby? Didn't you have parents who looked at you and said, by golly, you need to stop? Can we take a couple of moments here and just breathe in a couple of breaths and be grateful that you're able to breathe? You're above ground. You're listening to a halfway decent podcast. It's not spectacular by any means, but I'm getting there, folks, with lots of practice. Maybe one day, just step aside for a moment. Just push everything else aside and be grateful that you can take a breath, that you can take a walk. Maybe be grateful that you got shelter. Well, man, it's not a mansion. Okay, so what? Do you need a mansion to be happy? Because let me tell you something, folks. If you're unhappy with your current shelter, you will be just as unhappy with a mansion. And by that measure, folks, mansions are subjective to the person who is looking at them. Because if you're living in 1,000 square foot or 2,000 square foot home, and you go talk to a person who lives in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, in a cardboard box, your place where you are residing, or even a 500 square foot home, that's a mansion to one of them. I was just talking to our boys about this the other day. I said, I currently am not making millions of dollars. Shocker! I know, spoiler. But I'm not making millions of dollars, and you don't need to make millions of dollars to be happy. But I'm grateful for the income that I do have, especially when I look back at the income that I was making right out of college. I took a job, and this is bad. $18,000 as an assistant general manager at a hotel. And that's what I went to school for. I went to school, studied for travel and hospitality management, and by goodness, when I got that piece of paper for which I worked so hard, I was so proud to take that job as an assistant, not an assistant to the manager. There's a difference. If you're talking about dried Shroot and Shroot Farms and Scranton, PA, that's different. I'm talking about the AGM, the assistant general manager, and I took that, and they handed me $18,000, and it was spread out over 26 or 24 paychecks. You're paid bi-weekly, and then I started looking at these paychecks. This was back in 96, 97. These were not so big, these paychecks. And the checks that I'm getting now are mounds more than what I was getting back then. Now, I look at Wall Street guys. I look at big CEOs. I look at people making $100,000. I'm like, man, I'm not making $100K. But boy, if I was, then I'd be happy. No, you know what happens when you start chasing that white rabbit? It is elusive. It evades you. You get to that $100K, and then you're like, oh, I just need to make a little bit more, then I'll be happy. I just need a little more house. I just need I need a car with a different emblem on it. Maybe that TriStar. That's what I need. Or the bowl. I need the car with the bowl on the steering wheel, then I'll be happy. No, folks, you won't. You're not going to be any happier than you are now with a different label on your shirt, on your car, on your business card. You'll be the same ungrateful, unhappy person. And we need to look introspectively at this and take charge. You need to think about what you're thinking about. That's what is very popular saying. Think about what you're thinking about. You need to guard your hearts and minds against what that enemy wants to tell you, which is you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, and doggone it, people don't like you. You're not living in a big enough house, you're not driving a smart enough car, you're not working at a better enough job. I know that's bad grammar. It's okay. It's okay. Let's be grateful. Let's look at what we got. Can I be grateful for a moment? It is what you make of it. I grow tired of the phrase, it is what it is. Well, it's like accepting mediocrity as if that's as best as we can do. No. I don't want to go there with that, okay? What I'd like to say it is what you make out of it. If that's your home, be proud of it. Keep it clean. Keep it the best that you very possibly can. Because there's some people that don't have a home. If that's the car that you want, that you can afford, that fits within your budget, then by golly, drive it like you're proud of it. Drive it like you're glad to own a car. Because there's people I pick up every single day when I'm driving around Uber and Lyft in between projects. They don't have a car. They don't have money to buy a car. They don't have money to fix up the car that broke, that is busted down, that is 20 years old, that's going to cost them $1,500 to $2,500 to get the transmission fixed, and they can't do it because they don't have an appropriate emergency fund. And so there they are. And there you are. Are you driving a car? Can you be grateful for the car that you have? Can you be grateful for family? You know, there's people who don't even have family. They want family so bad, they're going to adoption clinics. They're going to fertility clinics so that they can become pregnant and have a family. Are you grateful for the family that you have? Do you have that capacity to be so? I think you do. I believe that we can. I believe we can look deep inside ourselves, and in some cases we don't even have to look that deep. It's just right there, bubbling at the surface, waiting to be accepted. Hey, I can be grateful for where I am. I can praise God for what I have in my hands. I can praise Him for the talent that I have. I can praise God for the family that I have, for the house in which we reside. Granted, it's sinking into the ground, but it's a home. Granted, it is falling apart at the seams, but it is a home. It is what we have made of it. And just because I have a better home or a bigger home, it's not going to make me happier. Let me ask you this. If you bought that Mont Blanc pen on which you have had your eyeballs for the last 2.5 years just thinking, ooh, that is a sexy Mont Blanc pen. I need to have that in my repertoire to write my book. Nah, it's not going to help you write any better. Just like driving around in a fancy car isn't going to make you any happier. It's like having a $2,000 mic isn't going to make you a better podcaster. And you'll probably sound better than I do, and so be it. All right, so let me leave you with this, okay? I don't want to go on too long, but the words familiarity breeds contempt. Familiarity breeds contempt. If we can look at our world, our purview, if we can look at at those around us and the things around us and the stuff around us and the family and friends and relatives around us with maybe a fresh new look, can I look at them with gratitude? Can I be grateful for the things and the relationships within my life? Yes, I believe. I truly believe you have it within you to be grateful for the relationships around you. I'm here to help, right? I'm here to help you prioritize the stuff and the relationships in your life, from your faith, family, relationships, and more. I want to be of service to you. You got a question about any of that or something else, you're welcome to shoot me an email at me@tobybaker.life. That's me, M-E, @tobybaker.life. Can you prioritize gratitude? I truly believe that you can.